Mission statement. The department's mission is to shape and sustain a peaceful, just, and democratic world and foster conditions for stability and progress for the benefit of the American people and people everywhere. This mission is shared with the USAID, ensuring we have a common path forward in the partnership as we invest in the shared security and prosperity that will ultimately better prepare us for the challenges of tomorrow.
The Department of State handles many problems affecting the daily lives of people. They are responsible for the international relations of the United States with other countries. The department's main focuses revolve around economics and the environment, arms control and international security, and civilian security and democracy. Arms control, verification, and compliance, ABC. The Bureau's core missions within the U.S. Department of State concern national and international safety with the implementation of arms control. This may be through the use of disarmament treaties with other countries involving weapons of mass destruction or through defense policies to strengthen the protection against any danger. ABC also works with ensuring that other countries' compliance is carefully monitored, reported, and pursued, as well as that all treaties and agreements are fully implemented. The Bureau works with foreign governments and international organizations to acquire information about compliance assessments and to encourage compliance with their commitments. Diplomatic security. The Bureau of Diplomatic Security is the security and law enforcement arm of the U.S. Department of State. They are responsible for providing a safe and secure environment for the conduct of the U.S. foreign policy. Diplomatic security plays a major role in protecting United States diplomatic missions and their workforce overseas, securing critical information systems, investigating passport and visa fraud, and fighting the war on terror. Populations, refugees, and migrants. The goal of the PMR Bureau is to provide protection, ease suffering, and resolve the conditions of persecuted people around the world on behalf of the American people. This can be done by providing life-sustaining assistance, building global partnerships by working through multilateral systems, promoting best practices in humanitarian response, and ensuring that humanitarian principles are integrated into U.S. foreign and national security policy. The Bureau works with the international community to develop solutions to their displacement. The three solutions may be repatriation, going home when they are no longer at risk of persecution, local integration, settling permanently in the community to which they have fled, resettlement, settling permanently in a third country. By working with the United Nations and other international organizations, as well as with non-governmental organizations, programs can be operated internationally. Oceans. The Office of Oceans and Polar Affairs is responsible for creating and implementing U.S. policy on international issues concerning the oceans, the Arctic, and Antarctica. Their main objectives are to work with other nations to protect marine environment from pollution and other threats, coordinate aspects of freedom of navigation, maritime claims and boundaries, and extension of the U.S. continental shelf. This is done through international communication and organizations. Global Criminal Justice. This office advises the security of state and other groups of the United States government on the prevention and response to abomination crimes. They provide advice on ways to ensure accountability and justice for war crimes, crime against other people, and genocide. The office works closely with other governments, international organizations, and non-governmental groups to establish international and national tasks of inquiry, fact-finding missions, and panels to investigate, document, and prosecute crime in every global region. Non-proliferation. The Bureau of International Security and Non-Proliferation is in charge of managing a large range of United States non-proliferation policies, agreements, and programs with other nations possessing nuclear weapons. The non-proliferation of weapons of mass destruction and similar technologies and expertise are trying to be acquired by terrorists, which is a very important challenge to American national security. This office participates in international conventions to prevent the use of weapons and also in creating international treaties to stop the use of nuclear weapons. Environment. The goals of this bureau is to promote a healthier planet through science and partnership. They work to advance American foreign policy goals in the critical areas of climate change, water, polar issues, ocean policy, wildlife tracking, infectious disease, science and technology, and space policy. The Environment Office represents the U.S. at international meetings to discuss plans and implement policy that will protect and renew our planet. narcotics, and law enforcement. This bureau works to keep Americans safe at home by countering international crime, illegal drugs, and uncertainty abroad. They help nations implement justice and fairness by strengthening their police, courts, and correction systems. These efforts reduce the amount of crime and illegal drugs approaching the United States. They promote U.S. anti-crime and drug control standards, which models for other foreign governments and criminal organizations.
Two topics from the sub-organizer. The Undersecretary for Management is the State Department's representative on the President's Management Council and is the department official responsible for implementing the President's Management Agenda, also known as PMA. The PMA is a set of management initiatives designed to make the government more citizen-centered, effective, and efficient. Four things under Secretary for Management is administration, diplomatic security, human resources, and medical service. Another topic from the suborganizer is under Secretary for Political Affairs. William J. Burns is the department's third-ranking official and its senior career diplomat. He serves as the day-to-day manager of overall regional and bilateral policy issues and oversees the issues for Africa, East Asia, and the Pacific, Europe and Asia, Eurasia, the Near East, South and Central Asia, the Western Hemisphere, international organization, and international narcotics and law enforcement. The assistant secretaries operate the U.S. diplomatic mission within their regional jurisdiction. They are assisted by deputy assistant secretaries, office directors, post management officers, and country desk officers. These officials work closely with U.S. embassies and consults overseas with foreign embassies in Washington, D.C. The International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, INL, advises the U.S. government on the development of policies and programs to combat international narcotics and crime. INL programs support the department's strategic goals of reducing the entry of illegal drugs in the United States and minimizing the impact of international crime on the United States and its citizens. Counter-narcotics and anti-crime programs also complement the war on terrorism by supporting foreign criminal justice systems and law enforcement agencies charged with the counterterrorism mission. A current news problem is Christopher Painter, the Secretary's coordinator for cyber issues, will travel to Tel Aviv, Israel, to participate in bilateral discussions on a range of cyber policy issues. While in Tel Aviv, Coordinator Painter will also participate in Israel's annual Cyber Tech Security Conference, where he will articulate the United States' vision of an open, interoperable, secure, and reliable information and communications infrastructure that support international trade and commerce, strengthen international security, and fosters free expression and innovation to include the existing multi-stakeholder approach the Internet governments.
John F. Kerry is the current Secretary of State. On February 1, 2013, he was sworn in as the 68th Secretary of State of the United States. He is the first sitting Senate Foreign Relations Committee chairman to become Secretary in over a century. Before John graduated from Yale, he enlisted to serve in the United States Navy and went on to serve 2 tours of duty. As chairman of the Senate Select Committee on POW/MIA Affairs, he worked to learn the truth about American soldiers missing in Vietnam and to normalize relations with that country. In his 28 years on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Secretary Kerry chaired the Asia and Middle East subcommittees, where he authorized and passed major legislation on international drug trafficking, international money laundering, humanitarian aid, and climate change. A fun fact about John F. Kerry: he was the Democratic Party's nominee for President of the United States in 2004.